Hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar session on overview and execution of third-party logistics in SAP Business by Design. My name is Kopal Upadhyay and I'll introduce myself. I've been working with SAP for Business by Design products from past few years and SCM supply chain management being my focus area. I have with me Nitin Kumar who will walk you through the presentation, and this will be followed up with live demo in the system. So now I'll hand over to Nitin to proceed with the session.
Thank you, Kopal. Hello, everyone. This is Nitin Kumar. So I work at SAP for Business by Design, and I work in supply chain module as well. Okay, for the next few minutes, we will walk you through the presentation as well as the live demo. So now let's walk through the presentation and let's see what's there in the agenda for us today. Colleagues, so today we have in agenda, we have the following topics. First is 3PL introduction, followed by business benefits of using 3PL in SAP Business by Design. And the third topic would be the master data setup and scoping, which is basically necessary for integrating 3PL, that's third-party logistics, in SAP Business by Design. The fourth topic in the agenda is about integration scenarios. So what are the integration scenarios that are supported with 3PL in SAP Business by Design? Followed by it, we have a 3PL execution, which is a live demo, which will be presented by myself and Kopal Upadhyay. So we have the next is the reference documents, which basically guides you through the documentation or the help documents on third-party logistics. The last would be the Q&A session. Okay, let's start with the first topic in the agenda, that's 3PL induction. So what exactly is 3PL induction in general? Third-party logistics. What exactly is third-party logistics in general in the business? So just to be sure that I shall be using abbreviation 3PL instead of third-party logistics, just to have it cut short and just easy to use as well. Okay, so third-party logistics basically is an activity of outsourcing all or much of your company's logistics and distribution operations. Yeah, so it can be that for example, businesses have to manage a supply chain effectively to provide rapid response to customers while being cost-effective and competitive in the market. Yeah, so in order to implement a lean supply chain and achieve operational efficiency, the companies form partnership with the third-party logistics provider. So this is 3PL, third-party logistics in a nutshell. So who is this third-party logistics provider or a 3PL provider? 3PL provider is a firm basically who is specialized in the logistics activities, which includes warehouse management, transportation management, freight management, and distribution management. So all these activities these are the vendors who are very specialized in the logistics operations, and few of the bigger names in the market are, say, DHL, Caterpillar, UPS, and so on. Okay. So here in the above figure, you see that there is an integration between the external third-party logistics warehouse and SAP Business by Design system. So this integration will be explained in the coming slides. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, so let's know what 3PL in a bigger picture. So within a real scenario, how does this look like? Yeah. So this is the kind of a supply chain network wherein you have your company, you have a supplier, your customer, and along with this, a new entry would be your third-party logistics provider, 3PL provider. Okay. So say for example you have a company and your company have two sites. So site one is the one which is your own site, which means this site physically exists in your location, and you have another site called your 3PL site. So this 3PL site is physically not present in your location. Rather, this 3PL site is physically present in your 3PL provider site in this location. So, but then to have the transaction to be carried out in your system, because in your system for all the posting purposes, you will have to set up a 3PL site, SAP Business Partnering System in your company, under your company. So now we have 4 entities here. One is your company, the suppliers, the customer, and a 3PL provider. And you also see the bidirectional data flow as well as the unidirectional data flow, wherein the yellow lines depict the information flow between your company and your supplier, also your company and your customer, also between your company and your 3PL provider. There's also a blue line which depicts the material flow. That's basically the goods movement. So this material flow is between your supplier and your 3PL site, also your customer and your 3PL site at your 3PL provider site. Okay. So here we can see the two major scenarios in third-party logistics. One is the inbound process, and the second one is the outbound process. So inbound process is nothing but your procurement process. Outbound process is your sales process. So let's assume as a company, you will be transacting daily by procuring some goods and materials from your supplier. Also, you will be selling some goods and materials to your customer. Let's take up a scenario wherein you will have a shortage of stock of certain goods and products which are not really managed at your site. Rather, it is managed by a 3PL provider at a 3PL site. Okay, so in such cases, you will create a purchase order to a supplier, so requesting for so and so quantity, requesting for so and so products and materials of so and so quantities, and also you will also inform your supplier that to ship the goods directly to your 3PL site, which is managed by your 3PL provider. So while creating a purchase order in the ship to location, in the ship to field, so you will mention your 3PL site, which has been created in your system. Okay, based on this information is provided by your company, the supplier will deliver the goods to your 3PL site based on the information provided in the purchase order. Then the supplier will directly deliver the goods to your 3PL site here. Okay. And in the meantime, once the stock or the inventory is received at your 3PL site, now your 3PL provider will inform that this information to your company, because please note that in the 3PL scenario, the stock is owned by your company, and 3PL provider is just the mediator who will be assisting you with the warehousing and transportation activities. But then the stock is completely owned by you. So since the goods has been received from the supplier to a 3PL site, so now it's the duty of the 3PL provider to inform your company that I have received so and so goods and with so and so quantities in my 3PL warehouse. So which means that this information will be sent to your B-wide system. So here the inventory gets updated for that particular product with so and so quantities. So which means that here we will have a real-time stock update as and when the 3PL provider sends the data. Okay. So next would be the outbound scenario, wherein your customer would request for you for a product or a material which is ideally not at your site, but then it is stored in your 3PL site. So in such case, when customer creates a sales order, and you see that this order can be fulfilled from internally itself, but then it will be shipped from your 3PL site. So in such cases, your company will create a 3PL request, third-party logistics request, which is a request which includes the items to be shipped, and also the number of quantities, and also the delivery date. So all these details will be sent to the 3PL provider through a 3PL request, which is a B2B message. Once 3PL provider receives this message from your company, based on that, the 3PL will start processing the shipment, the execution part of it, and then those goods will be delivered to your customer directly. Yeah. So once you see, once the goods are moved out of your 3PL warehouse, the stock gets discounted in your 3PL site. So this information will again be sent once this stock has been moved out, or once the outbound delivery has been done. The 3PL provider will communicate this information to your company, saying that I have shipped the goods and delivered the goods to your customer. So which means that in business piping system, you can go ahead and create outbound delivery with the message received from your 3PL provider, and then further you can proceed with the invoicing part and the financial part of it. So this covers in a nutshell, this covers a complete scenario of how 3PL works in a day-to-day operations. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So, what are the business benefits of using third-party logistics? So, well, there are many business benefits of using third-party logistics in a company. So, firstly, as a third-party logistics provider, so what is his main motto? His main motto is to try to achieve and excel the following key performance indicators. Say, for example, if I am a 3PL provider, my main intention would be the following to achieve. First would be the order fill rate. Order fill rate is nothing but the accuracy of order fulfillment. So I fulfill most of the orders what my customer requests. So that's first thing. That's my first KPI. Next would be the service level. I make sure that I provide a better service, and also I make sure that there is no out of stock situation. Yeah. The third would be the inventory accuracy. So as a 3PL provider, the stock is not owned by me, rather it's a company owned by a company owned, and I'm a 3PL provider is just only the end user, the mediator who will only support in the warehouse operations. So whatever the goods have been received or goods have been moved out of the warehouse, 3PL warehouse, the data should be communicated to a BYD system, so that the inventory gets updated in the real time and you have a clear picture on your inventory. For that, the 3PL provider would be using a state-of-the-art technology. So in such cases, you will be capable of using advanced reporting and also some just-in-time principles to ensure the correct amount of inventory is shipped when and where you need it. Okay. The last would be the turnaround time, basically the shipping duration. So 3PL provider will make sure that he will provide the goods accurately and on time. Okay. Now coming back to partnering with third-party logistics provider. What as a company can achieve? So a company can achieve the following. First is the improved efficiency, which means that you will need not have to bother about the goods to be delivered to customers at what time, if there is a delay or in the shipping or anything, because all these operations will be taken care by your 3PL provider. So you can really concentrate on your core competences instead. Okay. The next is rapid response time. Yeah, as already mentioned, the rapid response time is basically how also related to your turnaround time for a 3PL provider, because as and when the goods the orders are received, so it's duty of a 3PL provider to make sure it is shipped and delivered in a timely manner, so that for you as a company, your customer gets satisfied with such a rapid response time. So next is you can best utilize this. You use your resources for other operations for your core competencies rather than concentrating on the 3PL setup. So last would be reduced cost, which means that since outsourcing logistics will save a wealth of time and money for your company, using a 3PL provider eliminates the need to invest in warehouse space, the technology, the transportation, and staff to execute the logistic processes, which results in reduced costs. So let's move to the next slide. Okay, so this is where we will get in the master data setup and scoping for integrating 3PL, the third-party logistics, in SAP Business ByDesign. So here, in a nutshell, what are the primary things that have to be carried out in a BYD system for the 3PL to get integrated with SAP BYD system? First, you have to configure the business package in the scoping, basically in business configuration, and next you will have to register your 3PL provider in your company, because you will have to model your 3PL provider as a supplier, as a business partner in the business partnering system. Okay. Next is you will have to have a virtual site under your company, which is externally managed warehouse. I will be showing that in the coming slides. So also you have something called 3PL process settings. These are nothing but the level of automations which end user has an option, wherein you want the operations process to be done manually, or you can automate things as well. So the last will be the communication arrangements. So this is the prime part of the setup, integration setup, because communication arrangement is basically it kind of a bridge between your business partnering system and your external WMS system. WMS system is nothing but your warehouse management system at your 3PL provider site. Okay, going to the next slide. Okay, here you see that in business configuration, you have a business package called third-party logistics here. Third-party logistics, which has to be scoped for you to have 3PL configured in your BYD system. So this has to be scoped. Later on, you have certain activities which aids in document numbering formats for your inbound delivery or for your outbound deliveries. Okay. Now let me show this setup in the system directly. I shall switch to the system now. Okay, let me log in. I've already logged into the system here, and if you see here in the business configuration work center, you have implementation projects. Select the implementation projects view. Then go to the current projects, and you have an option to edit project scope, where you will be able to scope the elements and business packages. So once you click on edit project scope, you will have this new screen popped up. Okay, so please navigate to scoping phase. So once you move next, you will have scoping phase visible, under which you will have to select the element supply chain setup management. Under supply chain setup management, you have execution design, under which you will find third-party logistics. So this is a business package basically. So you will have to scope this for you to have 3PL integrated in your BYD system. So, and one other point to be noted here is, as soon as you deselect this, you will see that the dependent element also gets descoped, because this communication for execution design is nothing but it's an exchange of information between your 3PL provider and SAP BYD system. So hence this has to be as soon as you scope this up, the dependent elements also get scoped. Okay, this is the scoping part of it. Now let me close this. Let me cancel this. I'll let it close this up. Okay, now I will open the activity list where I can show you the numbering formats, document numbering formats. Okay, it's just loading. So once you open this activity list, please navigate to fine-tuning tab. Yeah, there are quite a few activities in the system, so it is taking some time to load the data. Okay. In the meantime, I will just come back to the slide. In the meantime, let's go through the slides. But once I'm done with a few slides, I'll come back to the system and show you how the setup happens. Yeah. Let me see if I can close and open this once again. Or maybe I can see if I can directly go to overview and activity list, configuration elements, and see if I can access from there. Okay. Let me search from overview page itself and see if I can find this activity here. Okay, so I get it. So here I will directly check for the document memory format for inbound delivery. The same holds good for outbound delivery as well. Let's select this document numbering format for outbound delivery. So you can also access this activity by going to overview in the business configuration work center, going to overview, and then directly enter the keyword here to search it. Okay, now coming back to the document numbering formats for inbound delivery, and same thing holds good for outbound delivery as well. So here there are certain mandatory fields to be given. For example, site. Please note that this site we have configured is a 3PL site. Maybe I can explain you in a while. Let me check this site. In the meantime, also this. Okay, here site is mandatory, and this external numbering indicator, which means that this will be the one which will be used by a 3PL provider for numbering the documents in your system, the business documents basically. And you will also provide your warehouse provider ID as well, and also a prefix value. With this prefix value, the warehouse provider, the 3PL provider, will send a message to BYD system along with the IDs, alphanumeric IDs. Okay, let me switch back to slide and show you what are the master data setup, and then I'll come back to the site as well. Yeah, coming back to slides here. So here, the business partner, as already mentioned, since you will be doing a transaction with your 3PL provider with respect to inventory, and transportation, you should also have the 3PL provider as a business partner in your system. So which means that the 3PL service provider is modeled as a business partner of type supplier in your system. And also you should have a role code as warehouse provider, because this supplier, this 3PL supplier or 3PL provider who is also acting as supplier in the system should have a role warehouse provider, because he is the one who will be taking care of your externally managed site. Okay. Now, after that, along with that, there is another setup to be done here. As I already mentioned in the 3PL big picture, in the big picture of 3PL setup, you should also have a site defined, a 3PL site defined in your company. It is a virtual site, which means that the site physically doesn't reside at your premises. Rather, it resides at your 3PL provider's premises. But then you will have to create a site for all the transactions to happen in your system. For example, in outbound deliveries and inbound deliveries getting created in the system, and also invoicing part and all the financial parts should be taken in the system. So that purpose, you create a site in your BYD system, and how do you differentiate this site from a normal site like your own site? So there is a differentiating factor which clearly indicates that this is a 3PL site than a normal site. For that, you have a role called externally managed location, the checkbox, which has to be enabled. Along with that, you have to provide a warehouse provider ID, who is the one who will be assisting in the transportation part of it. Let me quickly check this in the system directly. I shall go back in the system here. As I already mentioned to you, this is a site I was talking to you about. So which has to be created in the BYD system. So this site, and you will have to enable the role externally managed location. If you mouse over here, it clearly says that an indicator that determines whether this site can be used as an externally managed warehouse. It's a 3PL warehouse basically. Okay. So next is you will also map your warehouse provider ID. That is nothing but your business partner ID of your 3PL provider. So this, let me navigate to the warehouse provider as well. Let me click on the business partner ID. This has to be clicked in the system, in the BYD system. So you can create in business partner data work center, you can create a new supplier with all the details, but then this supplier would be also a 3PL provider when you select the option warehouse provider. Here, when you select this option, so this indicates that he is also your 3PL warehouse provider who will handle the shipment and also various activities. Okay. So with this information being configured in the system. Okay, one more thing to highlight here. If you see here in this site, you do not have an option to edit the layout. Whereas if in your normal site, the site which is present in your premises, you have an option to edit the layout and you have an option to create logistics areas under which. But then in this 3PL site, you do not have an option because this site is not managed by you, rather it is being managed by your 3PL provider. Okay, and coming back to the supplier who is your 3PL provider, if you go to communication tab and the collaboration, so how would the data exchange happens basically, the information between your 3PL provider and your BYD system. So basically, it happens to an XML message. So that is also another setting to be done. Okay. Now I shall close this up. Okay. So here you can add row and you can maintain the for which site you will have to provide the warehouse provider ID, the prefix, the hyphen, and then how long this setup is valid. So this can be configured so that whatever documents you'll be receiving from your 3PL provider will be prefixed with ALK and the next followed by an alphanumeric value. Okay, coming back to slides. So we were here at the location part. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the prime part of the integration. So communication arrangements is one. It's basically a bridge which acts between your external WMS system and your BYD system. So I will spend much of the time in demoing this in the system directly. Let's go back to the system. So here, I shall you can set up the communication arrangements in application and user management work center. Under input and output management view, you have communication arrangements. Okay, so in interest of time, we have already set up the communication arrangement for the demo purpose or live demo purpose. But nevertheless, let me quickly show you how to create a communication arrangement for a 3PL setup integration. So I shall go ahead and create a new one. Okay, so if you see here, there are various communication scenarios which are existing, which are predefined in the BYD system. So what are these scenarios? These are nothing but the external services, wherein it's a web service, it's an integration or an interface which helps in creating documents in your BYD system through an external application. So that those are the communication scenarios. So let's see the communication scenario, predefined communication scenario for third-party logistics integration in SAP BYD system. So you see at the very end you have something called third-party logistics integration, which is a B2B communication type, which means that this message flows between two business entities. Okay, let's select that scenario and go next. Okay, here you have a business partner ID. Okay, the most important part is, so you have to have a communication between your 3PL and BYD. So your business partner, you have defined your 3PL provider, you have modeled the 3PL provider as a business partner of type supplier in your system. So that I will provide the ID here, S100950. If you see here, this was the one we created a while ago, Gillis Services. I'll select this. Okay. So now I shall navigate to the next tab. So here, then you have various settings, for example, inbound communication and outbound communication. Inbound communication is nothing but, so whatever the communication happens, it's triggered from your external WMS system to BYD system. So how will this happen? for example, with respect to an application protocol. See, all the messages which are sent from your BYD system or into your BYD system, it all are a web service basically. So, and also the authentication method which you will be sending, from your 3PL system to BYD system, you can manage it. Whether you want to authenticate the system, authenticate the call or the message either via SSL client certificate, or you want to provide user ID and password. You have either of the two options which can be selected. If at all you select SSL client certificate, you will have to import the certificate to BYD system. So that as soon as you log in, the system recognizes your certificate and allows your authentication. If at all you select user ID and password, you will have to provide the system will default take this technical user ID created, and you can maintain the password in the edit credentials tab option. So where you can provide the password here. Okay. So what is outbound communication? Outbound communication is basically from your BYD system, a call will be triggered to your external WMS system, that's 3PL provider system. So here again, it's a web service call, or it could be with the same what kind of authentication method based on your business use case. You can set this up, and also host name. Host name is nothing but your target system, your WMS system. And please make sure that this system is the host name is valid and also it's accessible, because at times we do have some dummy systems created wherein the systems are not reachable by BYD system, which leads in the error message. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, one thing to also highlight here is that click on edit advanced settings. So here you will see the services, the inbound services and the outbound services. So inbound services are the ones which will be coming into BYD system, and outbound services are the ones which are going out of the BYD system. And these services are nothing but the web services. So for example, if at all you want to have this WSDL file, you can download this WSDL file. Once the communication arrangement is created and is made active, you have an option to download this WSDL file. This acts as a template, for example, for you to send the messages to BYD system, and from BYD system to your WMS system, or from back to your BYD system. Okay. And likewise, you have outbound service as well, which will be these are the services which will be going out of the BYD system, which will be an input to your WMS system. That's your 3PL system. Okay, so this will complete the communication arrangement part. You do a complete check completeness and then save it. And then I'm not saving it since I already created with the same warehouse provider ID. So I will not save this. But then once you save it, please make sure you make this active. You are allowed to make this communication arrangement active. You have an option to activate it once you. Otherwise, it will be in preparation. Once you activate it, you will now the communication would work properly between your 3PL system and the BYD system. Okay. So this is about the communication arrangements in BYD between the integration between BYD and 3PL system. Okay. Now moving back to slides. One other thing we have is 3PL process settings. So 3PL process settings is, as already mentioned, there is a kind of an amount of control which the user has. For example, once you want to create a 3PL request, or once the outbound delivery is created or the inbound delivery is created, whether you want to, based on your use case or based on your business requirements, whether you want to release the 3PL request automatically, or you want to release a 3PL request by a user or a specific user. Such kind of configuration can be done in the 3PL process settings. So this you can directly access from what we went like activity list, and you can give this keyword 3PL process settings, and you can directly add it over there. Or you can also, you have a shortcut, another path shortcut wherein you can access it from the third-party logistics work center itself. Let me show you that in the system. So I shall directly navigate. I think I have already opened this up in the 3PL. Okay. Let me go to third-party logistics work center. So if you see here, third-party logistics work center, the common task, you have something called 3PL process settings, where you will be able to configure the settings as per the business requirements. Yeah. For example, in this case, I have set it as all automatic. As soon as the request gets created, the 3PL request is released, and so on. Okay. So now back to slides. 3PL settings. So next is the integration scenarios. So what are the integration scenarios basically? So integration scenarios are nothing but these are the scenarios which will be supported between a 3PL and SAP BYD system. So firstly, we have an outbound scenario. Outbound scenario is nothing but your sales procure, your sell from stock scenario, or it could be a return to supplier scenario, or stock transfer scenario, intra-company or intercompany stock transfers. So which means that you will have a request demand rate from your customer, and you have a sales order get created for which you will have a delivery proposal, and yeah, you create a 3PL request, and the execution part happens at your 3PL side, and the outbound delivery gets created in the BYD system. Likewise, in the inbound scenario, you have procure to pay scenario, wherein you will procure from your supplier directly. Okay, and yeah, you have an IDN created, and the 3PL execution part happens at your 3PL provider side, and the inbound delivery gets created in the BYD system. And other operation that gets supported in the 3PL integration is the inventory update. This is nothing but the ad hoc adjustment of stock. For example, if there is a stock mismatch between physically in the system and also in the system and physically in the warehouse, if there is a stock mismatch, in this case you can do a stock adjustment during the inventory update operation, and so on. Okay, this I've already mentioned in the previous slides. The supported outbound process are sell from stock, return to supplier, stock transfers, which includes intercompany and intra-company both. And also you have supported inbound processes, which are procure to pay scenario, RTS, customer return, and stock transfers. And the supported standard features are goods movement, which is nothing but inventory update operation. And from the last release, we also support batches and serial numbers confirmation, and also sales kit. Okay, now coming to the very interesting part of the session, the webinar is the 3PL execution, which is a live demo. So here, myself and Kopal will be walking you through 3 demos, one for inbound scenario, one for outbound scenario, and one for the inventory update scenario. Okay, so let me start with the inbound scenario. Inbound scenario, I shall now switch back to system. So here I will be taking up a procure to pay scenario where I have certain goods which has to be procured from the supplier, and I'll ask my supplier to directly ship it to my 3PL site. Okay, let's go to purchase orders here. Purchase request and orders work center. I create a new purchase order. Okay, now I'll enter the suppliers here. Okay, so then I will add the item which I want to be in stock on my side. Here it will be 3PL underscore BYD underscore web. Okay, so now here as I enter the product here, I'll also, so this is the most important part of having the 3PL scenario. So here your ship to would be not your own site, rather it would be a 3PL site. So here you will have to mention the 3PL where the goods have to be shipped directly to your 3PL site, which is P1124, which I have showed you before. This is configured as a 3PL site in the system. And let's say I'll add the quantity as 100, and let's maintain the cross price 10. Okay, so everything is complete here. So my ship to would be my 3PL site. So let's do a quick check. Yeah, it's complete, and let's go ahead and order this. Okay, one important thing to be mentioned during this demo is we do not have a real WMS system or a 3PL system at the other side of it. So we have kind of a dummy setup here, dummy 3PL setup, wherein whatever the messages we are sending from the BYD system will not reach the WMS system or the 3PL system, because this is a dummy setup. Also, in such cases, the messages would anyway, in the real scenario, the messages would anyway reach the WMS system, and based on that, the 3PL provider process the orders. And likewise, the 3PL provider confirms the orders, confirms the deliveries back to BYD system. Okay, so now we have a PO created. Let's take a note of this purchase order ID in the system here. So it's 1170. So please note that this purchase order will not be available in your normal purchase order request and orders work center, because this is third-party logistics, third-party logistics purchase order. So in that case, you will have to go to third-party logistics work center and use the details of this purchase order. So in the meantime, I'll go to here and go to purchase orders, third-party logistics purchase orders, and let me check for all purchase orders and check for 1170. So this has been sent to supplier AMS, and I have marked him directly shipped to my 3PL site with 100 quantities. Okay, now how do I see that message has been moved out of the BYD system? So this can be viewed through a tool called Business Communication Monitoring, which is already embedded in the third-party logistics work center. You can access Business Communication Monitoring using two places. One is directly come to third-party logistics work center under common task, click on Business Communication Monitoring, and the second is you can go to Application and User Management Work Center. Under Input and Output Management, you have a subview called Business Communication Monitoring. You can access from here as well. Okay, now this is basically an interface which captures all the messages that will be coming into the BYD system and also all the messages that is going out of the BYD system. Now let's check for all the messages which have been triggered today. Date. Okay, if you could see here, there has been a message sent from the BYD system to your WMS system. That operation is basically an outgoing operation. It's an outbound service. The operation is request inbound delivery execution, which is also called, which is a shortened of it is IDER. Okay, but then you see a status technical error. The reason why you see technical error here, because I already informed you during the communication arrangements that if at all here we do not have a real WMS system or a 3PL system, rather we have a dummy setup. So here BYD system will not be able to ping the target system. But then in real scenario, once the ping has happened to the target system, so this message will be sent successfully to the 3PL system. And also you can check the payload here. Either you can go to show payload and go to SAP ESC and see the payload whatever you have sent. You have sent to the 3PL system. So next is okay, and also it's also a good practice always to also create a delivery notification, which acts as a advanced shipping notification. So same PO. Okay, let me create notification. Check the line items over here. This is the ID and this is the relevant notification quantity, and just check the consistency. It's consistent, and then save it. So this will trigger another message to a warehouse provider which acts as an advanced shipping notification, and that message is called as DDAN, Delivery Dispatch Advanced Notification, informing the warehouse provider that you will be receiving goods from the supplier for so-and-so product and so-and-so quantities. Okay, now coming back to once the 3PL provider receives the goods at his 3PL site, so he will send a message back to BYD system saying that I have received this so-and-so quantities, so-and-so product of so-and-so quantities, and that based on that information, the inbound delivery documents gets created in the BYD system. Okay, this we will anyway execute this through a SOAP UI, which is used as the interface between your 3PL system and the BYD system. Okay, so just in the interest of time, we anyway have the format ready, the WSDL file ready for the procure to pay scenario, in which case you have the following data. So, or you can also create a new SOAP project wherein you can directly go to a SOAP project and you have to upload the WSDL file for procure to pay scenario, and then you can adapt the data here. Okay. Now that I already have the data ready, so this WSDL file consists of two following elements. First is the message header, and you have a message body, and also you have a root node, which is nothing but your inbound delivery execution, and you have a item node and the product nodes. Yeah, and you also have the master data identifiers in the message body. Okay. Now in this WSDL in the XML, I will just change the data and try to create inbound delivery system. So you have a message header. Let me create a creation time as today. The sender party will be your 3PL provider. So that's your business partner ID of your 3PL provider, which you already maintain the system, define the system. It's S100950. Okay, then the recipient party is your company. Yeah, and these are the prerequisites that we maintain as a message header part. And then coming to the root node, you will have to provide the inbound delivery ID. So this for ALK, now the purchase order is 1170. So this will be the unique ID, which will be external delivery ID created in the BYD system. And you will also have vendor ID. Your 3PL also provide an external reference ID. So this is the prefix you will be maintaining in the 3PL process settings. So vendor ID I will maintain. This is the one which will be providing by a 3PL provider. I will maintain as this one. Type code. Yeah. The most important part of this WSDL is the type codes. So based on this, it identifies which inbound service is it. In case of supplier delivery confirmation, the type code is 1566, and you have various scenarios like customer return, and you have intra-company, for which you will have different type codes. Okay, it's 1566 for the supplier delivery confirmation, and your vendor is your supplier, whom you are procuring the goods from, and recipient is your company, 1000. Yeah, arrival date is, I'll give it as today. And please make sure that you provide the valid, the standard format of time zone, and this is where we receive most of the incidents from customers wherein the time format will not be correct, and in that case the messages get failed in the BYD system. So please make sure that you provide a valid time format, and the arrival date period should be set here. Send the last change date. Okay, here. Next, when it comes to item node, you can provide the item ID, what you have in the delivery notification. That ID is 10. The vendor ID is the one which will be provided by a 3PL provider. And the mandatory element, the mandatory tag is the purchase order reference for the procure to pay scenario. So you have to provide which purchase order is it as a reference, 1170, type code for it, and item ID should be the one you have provided. You are the one which is maintained in the purchase order. If at all, if many also we do get incidents wherein the item ID also maintained as 10 by mistake, but then you will have to see in the purchase order what is the correct item ID, and that has to be sent in the XML. Item ID is 1, if you could see in this purchase order. Line item ID is 1 for this purchase order. Okay. Item type code, and this ends the purchase order reference tag. Okay. Next is the product node. In this one, in this product node you will have to provide the internal ID of the product, basically the product ID, which is about 3PL_BYD_web. Then the type code, and this ends the product tag, and you will have to provide the delivery quantity. How many quantities have been received by a 3PL site? So 100 quantities have been received, and quantity type code is each, and that confirmation has been done, and also the notification quantity and the notification type code, which will end the item node. So all these details, all the delivery quantity and the type code and also product ID and the purchase reference, all this to be included in the item node. So now you can go ahead and execute this message. Please note that while executing this message, you will have to provide the username and password, because you have maintained the authentication type here as username and password, for which we already have given the username and password here. So username is this one, what we defined in the communication arrangements, and password is the one what you have configured in the communication arrangements. Okay, now I shall go ahead and execute this message here. Okay, so here we are not receiving any successful message because this is nothing from a call, which means the system will not receive. If it's well successful, system will not wait for the message to be received, rather it starts processing the document. So now I will come back to the BYD system and see whether a message has been received or not. So I shall refresh the list here. And you see that the inbound delivery has been created, 1017. Click on this. So the inbound delivery has been released and has been received, and the stock has been updated in the system. So its delivery status finished and ready status is done, and you have received notification sunlight and actual quantities. So this completes the procurement to pay scenario. And one thing to highlight here is, if at all, in any case, if your 3PL provider has an issue with sending messages to BYD system from his system due to whatsoever reason, in such cases, if you cannot wait for 3PL message to be delivered from your 3PL provider, you can always create a manually inbound delivery in the system. So that you can proceed with your operations and proceed with your invoicing. Okay. So now I shall hand it over to Kopal, who will be presenting on the outbound as well as inventory update scenario.
Thank you, Nitin, for explaining inbound process. So now I'll start with the outbound process. Here, outbound process with 3PL is, okay. So I'll start with outbound process. First, I just want to give you a little bit about the outbound process with 3PL. It is the 3PL is material would be shipped directly to the customer's location to fulfill the demand from your 3PL warehouse instead of your internal warehouse. So in this scenario, here also we have three scenarios. It is sell from stock, return to supplier, and stock transfer. So I'll be executing sell from stock scenario in the system. So let's say you have received an order from your customer and now you're creating a sales order in the system with respect to your received order. So I'll start creating a sales order and I update my account ID. I'll give a PO reference, it's maybe demo 1. Okay, you have to get the sales unit ID. Okay. Okay, switch to items tab. So here I'll add my product. 3PL well ID. Okay. And I give quantity maybe only 5 with the list price as 10. So while creating sales order, you have to make sure that fulfillment should be internal instead of external. We have two types of fulfillment here, internal and external. If you select external, that will lead to third-party order processing scenario, which is entirely a different scenario. So here you have to select internal and make sure that you assign source of supply as your 3PL site. It should not be internal. Why we are selecting 3PL as an internal site? Because here you know that the stock and inventory which is lying at your third-party provider site also belongs to your company, and this is your site. It's just that the warehouse activities you are outsourcing through the third-party provider. Okay, so it seems everything is fine. I'll submit the order. Okay, it is 2714. I'll just note down the SOID. Okay, so once you create a sales order, we have to release it for the execution purpose. So we'll go to Outbound Logistics Control Work Center. Two seven one 2714. So now it is not released. I'll release it with the stock check and it will be released for the execution. Since it is a 3PL scenario, what happens is you have released it for at the third party warehouse execution will start. So you can see now delivery proposals in your third party logistics work center instead of normal outbound logistics. So here I can see under 3PL outbound, I will just check the delivery proposals created. So I can just try. Okay, so here we have the delivery request. Now using this delivery request, I'll create 3PL request manually in the system. You do have an option as automated actions where you can set the parameters and it will create the request, all the warehouse requests automatically in the system if you want to avoid the manual creation of 3PL request. Okay, so here I have created manually. So now we'll see 3PL request here with respect to 2714 sales order. So here we can see this is with reference to 2714 sales order. Now we'll just quickly check into business communication monitoring. Okay, I'll just check as on today's date. I'll refresh the data. Okay, so here we can see system has created outbound 3PL request and this message has been sent to the warehouse provider. So this is the operation known as request outbound delivery execution. So this is your ODER message sent out from the system. Okay, so let's come to 3PL here. Now using this 3PL ID, now warehouse provider will send the goods directly to the customer to fulfill the demand, and once the outbound process is done from his end, he will then send the message of the confirmation to your by the system that will further update the inventory and create the outbound delivery in the system. So I'll just create outbound delivery with respect to 3PL request ID. Okay, so just in the interest of time, I've already modified the XML and all the parameters I have added. So here you can see we have a reference ID. The reference ID would be your 3PL request ID. That would be 1439. Here we have a creation date time that is as on today. That would be 20. Here again we have a sender is our 3PL provider and recipient is our company. We are sending this data from our 3PL provider to the BYD system. So now we have again important tag as a message header. So here we can see this is outbound delivery execution. Here we have maintained ALK. This is you have defined in the numbering format under the fine-tune activity. So you have to maintain ALK, which is a prefix for the outbound delivery execution. So here I'll just maintain with reference to a 3PL request ID that is 1439. And the type code for sell from stock scenario is 1553. Now the vendor party is company, which is 1000, and ship from location is P1124. Sometimes we get issues where vendor party is wrong, they have updated the wrong data, so that will again end up with the error message. This 3PL site also belongs to your own company, so here the vendor party would be 1000 and ship from location would be P1124, which is a 3PL site. Now shipping date, I'll change it to 20. And arrival date you can also set as 20. Okay. Now we have item tag. This is the item ID which is sent by 3PL provider, and we have a 3PL request reference that would be 1439. And this is the same item ID you have to use, which is there is the 3PL request ID which you have sent to the 3PL provider. And I have to just check it is the same product and the quantity is 5. So I'll just change it to 5. And this completes the outbound delivery. So let's just execute it. I've already given the username and password. Okay, so I'll just check in business communication monitoring and refresh the list. We have to refresh manually because system automatically updates the messages after every 15 minutes. So here we can see that outbound delivery has been created, and if you just open the outbound delivery, you can see that it is released, and you can see all the required details that external delivery ID sent by our warehouse provider starts from ALK, and what are the ship to address details, what is ship to party. So this is the outbound delivery created in the system from the by the warehouse provider, and this is the message is ODEC message, that is outbound delivery execution confirmation. We do have an option of creating outbound delivery manually in cases that is alternative to the confirmation message created via B2B, where you might have a situation where both the interfaces are down and you're not able to communicate to the warehouse provider, or might possibly he's not able to send you the messages. So in that case, he will send you the your details, outbound delivery details via email or fax, so that you can also create new outbound delivery manually and continue with your business process. So this is about the outbound delivery process where you ship material from your 3PL site. Now let's another scenario, that is our inventory notification. So inventory notification is nothing but the inventory changes that can be initiated and carried out at your 3PL site. So what happens is there might possible from the stock your warehouse provider, due to some damage to the product or through some reasons, he's scrapping the product, or sometimes he's consuming the product for the project purpose, and there may be an inventory difference. So we do have an option of creating the inventory notification. So this is the responsibility of 3PL provider. He will send you the message that so this much of quantity has been scrapped or this much of quantity has been consumed. Okay. So here we have option of inventory notification under 3PL inventory management. So now here if you see, And once your inventory notification gets created and released in the system, your inventory gets updated. So now here if you see, if I click on new, we have two options. We have inventory change in externally managed location. So this, when you send a B2B message, where warehouse provider sends B2B message to the system, this gets updated. Here we have an option of creating manually also. So here we can give any ID. This is, I'm creating as manual. So I have to give the business transaction ID and I'll give here the 3PL site ID. So the main part here is when you add a product, now here you can see there are different reasons. That is for consumption purpose, inventory difference, sampling, non-consumed goods, scrapping or transfer. And according to that reason, you have inventory issue and receipt are the direction. So in this way, you can create inventory notification in the system. And please note that there is no numbering format exists for the inventory notification. Okay. So this we create through B2B message, and here we have another option for inventory alignment with externally managed location. And this is necessary if the booked stock in SAP by design and 3PL shows the difference. Then it can be created in by design, and this is to adjust the stock within the system. So there is nothing where system is like it is getting updated by your 3PL provider. So the reason therefore external notification ID is grayed out. Here you can again add the details manually, and you can add your reason here and moment direction. So here we have just to adjust the book quantity wherein you have the different inventory differences with the 3PL. So now I'll start with creating inventory notification directly from your third-party system into the system, into by design system. So let's go to our inventory notification, and here we have the request. So what we can do here is, this is the format for our inventory notification. So first we have to enter, maybe I'll just add this 9 or okay. Here the external ID, this would be our inventory notification ID, external notification ID given sent by the warehouse provider. Okay, and we do not have a numbering format, so it just should be alphanumeric. Now the transaction date, just change it to today's date. Here again, business transaction date, change it to 20. And the location where you have performed like scrapping or any update you want to send, that is from the 3PL side, so it is P1124. And now this is an important tag because this is where you have to update, where you are doing the performing scrapping, or is it for the consumption purpose. So the reason code for scrapping is 3 and the direction is 1, that is goods issue. Because when you're scrapping the product from the inventory, you are taking out your stock, taking out that quantity for the scrapping purpose. So this is I have updated as 3 and 1. Now the external ID, which again your provider is sending to business by design, and this is our material ID. So now if you want to even restrict the product, you can make it as true. Change the false to true. And the quantity here I want to scrap is maybe only 3, or I can just make it as 2. And okay, and this is the last single date time. Now I'll try to execute again. And let's see how it works. Okay, so let's go into the system. I can refresh the data. You can see. Okay, so this is the one which has set it as scrap 15, got created in the system, and you can see that it is released. So whenever I'm creating any document, you can see through 3PL business process settings, because here we already maintain as automatic. So whenever document is getting created in the system, it is automatically getting released. Okay, so here this is our notification. Now the important part here is, might possible that you have scrapped or consumed few quantities at the 3PL site, or maybe it is not 2. Later on you come to know that there are 3 or 4 products. So you want to update the same message. So you have to make, once the notification gets released, it updates your inventory. So, and it is not possible to update the same message if it is the status is released. You have to perform undo release. And when it's the status, when it is not released, then only you can update the message. So let's see, it is 88, and the status is not released. Okay. So now I'll try to update this message again. So for updating the message, this is mandatory that you use the same external ID which you have used earlier, and you have to just change your last sender last change date and time. That would be, I'll change it to 19, and you can also change time. So it should be with the change of last date and time, and the external ID should exist the same. So now here I'll change the quantity to 3. And let's see. So here we can see that quantity has been updated to 3, and it automatically, again with the update of message, got released. So since we have maintained the 3PL process settings. So now this is the way we create inventory notifications, and if there is any inventory difference in the system, and we can update the inventory as in a real time. So this is all about the demo for inbound and outbound and inventory notification. Now we'll move on to our next slide, that is our reference document. So if you want to have more clarification on 3PL and you want to get the XMLs and the PDF files on it, you can just go through these links and you can find all the details about the 3PL integration scenarios. So this is from our side.